Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Taisho Alice, and we're just continuing Gretel's route from where we left off earlier. So anyway, Gretel and I were not blood related. We were free to date, or even get married if we wanted. They have to tell you that so you don't feel squicked out about everything that's happening. Emphasis on if we wanted.
I don't see a problem with it, but everyone else would probably look at you funny.
Yeah. We're legally brother and sister, after all. That morning, I was walking to college with Wolf, explaining the events of the night prior. He was my confidant, one of few trusted friends who knew all about the situation with me, Gretel, and Ryoshi. Hence, I often turned to him for advice and offered it up in return. As for Gretel, he left the house ahead of me today. Apparently, he didn't want to risk crossing paths with Ryoshi. To be clear, I get where you're coming from. For siblings, we're abnormally close.
Although it'd still be weird even if you were dating.
I frowned and tilted my head inquiringly. Wasn't hanging all over each other 24/7 the whole point of dating? You're kind of doing that with your brother, though. I mean, yeah.
No, but for the record, you're more than welcome to get all buddy-buddy with me.
He spread his arms wide to offer me a hug. No thanks, but I appreciate the thought. I shrugged him off without missing a beat.
Man, I had no idea things between Ryoshi and Gretel were so awkward.
But Wolf didn't take offense. Instead, he returned to the topic at hand.
You're right. You're right. You was having sneezy fits. It's okay, or were you coughing? Did the water go down the wrong way? You right?
Sorry, Bird was just like making weird like noises. And he could have been drinking and maybe drank his water wrong. Dumbass. Anyway. Yeah, there's this palpable distance between them. It's hard to describe. Like they hold each other at arm's length.
How long's it been like that?
Right from day one.
For reals?
He shook his head in disbelief.
But you guys are supposed to be family, right?
Supposed to be, yeah. But Ryoshi doesn't approve of how much I like Gretel. Which, you know, maybe it's because Ryoshi's looking at me and like, you're a little too loving with him, and it's weird. Because it's not like he's jealous. You're too loving with him, Spacey, and I want you. No, we're actual blood siblings, so that'd be gross.
I draw that line. Like, maybe he's just jealous of somebody stealing his little sister away.
He laughed, and I laughed with him, but we were laughing for two very different reasons. As cute as that sounds, I don't think that's it. If Ryoshi liked me that much, you'd think he'd spoil me rotten.
Well, even if he's not jealous, he's still gotta be worried about you two living together unsupervised, right? I mean, you're his actual baby sister.
His actual sister. Yes, Ryoshi and I were real siblings, related by blood. I know we don't look alike, we get that a lot. Gretel was the only member of my family who lacked those ties. He was a foreign presence.
Come to think of it, does Grumpy even know he was adopted?
Nope.
What?
He's not supposed to, at least. He's not supposed to, at least. As far as I know, he thinks we're his real family. Maybe that's why your clinginess and he feels really creepy about the fact that he wants to bang you. I mean, that's good. Dude, that concerns me. But sometimes I feel like maybe he's figured it out.
Huh? What? What's the story there?
He blinked at me in surprise. To me, it seems like he knows the truth, but just pretends not to. He's always so distant with Ryoshi, and he never really talks about our parents. That said, Mom and Dad are really hands-off with us, which is probably the root issue if you think about it. But also, it's possible some jerk went and told Gretel behind our backs. It's not exactly the world's best-kept secret, you know?
Yeah, I mean, even I know.
Exactly. I looked up at the sky and let out another heavy sigh. Honestly, I should try to act more like a big sister, instead of like a romancy partner, because I'm just saying.
No, I think you're doing just fine, Reese.
But if I were doing better, we wouldn't be having this conversation, right?
True.
Wolf's blunt honesty was one of many reasons why I trusted him as much as I did. Do you think Gretel's figured out how I feel?
Not sure, dude. He is a smart guy and all, but if he thinks you're brother and sister, he's not gonna suspect that you're in love with him.
Okay, so we are in love with him. See? Everything that she has been doing kind of points to that. And that's what I've been saying. Like, she's being clingy and creepy and weird and, like, giving him the wrong impression. If the impression that she's trying to give him is not, she wants to bang him. So. And if he did put 2 and 2 together, he'd be creeped out if he thinks you're actually a sister, yeah? Actually, here's the creepier part. And I'm not really sure how I feel about this, but okay, we know he's adopted, blah, blah, blah. We're interested in him. And she's acting all clingy, whatever. If he knew I was in love with him, he'd be freaked out because he thinks we're blood related. Yeah, but what if he thinks you're blood related and he's like, and that's why he's kind of being a dick because he actually wants to bang you and doesn't give a fuck, kind of. And the only reason he gives a fuck that you're his sister is because, well, that would be wrong. Not because his feelings are, like, gross, but because society would say it's wrong, but his feelings are like, yeah, stick it in your sister. I'm just saying. Like, would that make the game, like, would be creepy? If you're like, wait, you were willing to have sex with your sister when you thought she was your blood relative? Yep. Okay, wow. Or he actually knows that you're not blood related and he's just fucking with your head right now. I don't know. I don't know which is better. Is it better to be like, oh my god, you really... Brother, sister, tied up, he's a dick. There's a lot of wrong things happening here. But do we want it to go so fucking wrong? Like, so beyond that he actually thinks you're blood related, but you're not. My god, that's like one step above we actually are blood related. Holy shit. Like, we're getting close, we're towing the line. Like, you know the line is, you're actually playing an Otome game where you're interested in your actual blood-related brother and he's totally into you. That's a line, okay? And that the side of the line where you're actually blood-related is the wrong side. But we are, like, right poking at that line with if Gretel actually thinks that we're blood-related and still wants to bone us. That's... Do we want that much of a train wreck? I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna, like... Because we know we're not related, but he thinks we are? Can I handle that much of a train wreck? I don't know. I mean, we're gonna see. There was a part of me that's like, oh god, no, please. Please let him at least know. And then there's the other, but then maybe that's what the whole setup is in this. He's messing... I'm just, quote-unquote, messing with you. Yeah, because any brother would do any of that shit to his sister to fuck with us. Okay, please, no. I'm just messing with you because he's actually wanting to do all those things, but if he admits it, then he'd be like, I have to admit that I want to have sex with my sister. And then later down the line, we'll be like, oh, but I'm not actually your blood-related sister, you were adopted. What? And then all the clothes come off. I'm just saying. And is that trauma that we can handle? Whew. This is a fucked up route. But again, I don't hate it. I am just twisted enough to be like, I'm mildly enjoying this train wreck. Wow, it's a mess. Ooh, there's some shit. Anyway.
I mean, most people would be.
Most people, yeah. But Gretel was not most people. So maybe there was a chance he would accept these secret feelings in my heart. Gretel's not most people. I mean, if he wants to have sex with his sister, and he thinks that you're actually his sister, I think you think that... I mean, I have a feeling he knows. You just hope that he does. But even then, it wouldn't work out. As happy as it would make me, it would only make him miserable. It'd be all too easy to explain to him that we're not related, but doing so would destroy him. Granted, this is just my personal hypothesis, but I think I'm the only one he actually sees as family.
Really? Just you?
Yeah, I'm the only one who lives at the house with him, and I do all the housework. Normally that's something a parent would do, right? Or a wife, if we're going down that fucking bullshit path. We don't know what time period this is. He's dressed t-shirt, pant, like, he could be in the modern day, This is like, we've got a dirt road. We're wearing a dress and tights, which I mean, I wear dresses and tights too, but it just seems like the way they describe her outfit, and I just get the impression it's more old-fashioned. But Ryoshi was wearing like a blazer and a shirt like modern day. Gretel looks like he rolled out of fucking like 1492 or some shit. So it's like, I don't know what's happening. Like, do we have like the quote-unquote stupid standard gender roles bullshit going on here like they did in ye olde times? Or is this like modern times where, bitch, you can learn to cook for yourself? I mean, he knows how to cook, so like, it's not, I don't know. It's weird. The time period is strange.
Yeah, I guess.
So functionally speaking, I'm both his older sister and his mom. Can you see where I'm going with this? That's even creepier now that you mention it.
So you're basically the dictator of his life?
Yes, exactly. He feels pressured to obey my wishes. Again, this would be... You're pressured to obey my wishes, and I wish that you would be my boyfriend. Like, we could have so much fun if we were the psychopath, and we were the one doing all the creepy shit. We don't have games like that. I want to be the creepy one. Instead of the men always being the creepy one, and then we get the Stockholm Syndrome, and it's like, girl, you're in a cage. What the fuck is wrong with you? I want to be like, dude, you're in a cage. Why are you falling for me? You know what? It's fine. You're falling for me. That's all I wanted. That's what I want. Yeah. I just want to, like, mentally, emotionally, and physically abuse them for them to fall in love with me for once in a game instead of the reverse. You know. It's like empowerment or I don't know. Just be kind of fucked up and it'd be fun. Because it's different.
Really? And because he sure doesn't act that way.
He grinned at me like the twerp he was. Ugh. Can't even argue with that. For a moment I faltered, but then I quickly recovered. Basically, I'm his ideal older sister. Beautiful, kind, fit and sexy, perky, smart, handy in the kitchen. Wow. My God. I'm gonna drown in the arrogance.
Whoa! I don't know where you get your confidence, but I'm loving it.
I'm just repeating what Gretel said, that's all. Last night Gretel told me he bases all his standards on me, and I don't think that's healthy. I mean, it's definitely not, because he wants to bang you and he thinks you're his sister.
Why not? Isn't that exactly what you want? Aren't you in love with him?
I nodded without hesitation. Yes, my love for him is romantic. I could never say it to his face, but somehow I could say it to a third party just fine. Which makes, like, everything happening in the cabin even more interesting. Because, of course, then if she's actually interested in him romantically and was before, the being imprisoned is like, there was a line and you crossed it, but I am in love with you, so maybe I accept it. As opposed to the, like, I have no interest in you, you freak, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And again, Toma. Wasn't attracted to Toma. Locked me in a cage. Go fuck yourself. Actually, didn't hate Gretel in Cinderella's route, and even though he was the kind of a little bit of a bitch, you're like, oh, I thought you were the sweet, adorable one, and you turned out to be a little bit of a bitch, and now he's got us tied up, and it's like, I don't hate it. Look, you put an adorable face, and I'm like, I like this guy, and they appealed to me, and then you put me in a cage, like, I'm just saying if Kent had put me in a cage in Amnesia, I might have been like, well, I deserve it, because I'm not good at math. I wouldn't have put it past him, but he was better than that. I'm just saying. He just made me do math problems, and then he berated me for not doing them right. But, you know. Anyway. I can never say it to his face, but somehow I could say it to a third party just fine. But our love can never be. And that's why he locks you in a cabin. So your love can be. Remember how we agreed I'm the dictator of his life? But from Gretel's perspective, whatever I say goes. And if this power structure exists both inside and outside her home, then I'm essentially his whole world. Or to put it more simply, he's too dependent on me. She's a good person, though, because most people, if a man were in this situation, she's too dependent on me. I'm her whole world. Oh, I can get whatever the fuck I want. And they'd take advantage of it. Hence, you could imagine if the roles were reversed, Gretel would do, exactly what he's doing, imprisoning me. I have to take care of her. She's too incompetent to take care of herself. Huh. He might be thinking some of the same shit we're thinking. But see, we're like, I couldn't do that. I couldn't tell him I loved him because then he would feel obligated to fall in love with me. That doesn't stop any of our Otome boyfriends from doing that kind of shit. The certain exceptions that do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I just, like... She needs to be the one that's like, I'm his whole world. I must imprison him in a cage. I want that game. Anyway. He sees me as someone who'll always be there to protect him. The second I try to tell him that I love him in a romantic way, he'll lose the only family he has. But then you make family. His guiding principles, his support network, gone! It'll ruin his life.
You sure he's that fragile?
In my opinion, yeah. And that's why he kidnaps us, because he's like, I'm not fragile. That said, we're the ones who made him that way. Mostly me for coddling him. Ultimately, this was the result of placing him into an environment where one person was overprotective and everyone else was neglectful. I just hope it doesn't come back to bite us one day.
Dude, why not just ease up on the overprotective thing?
Dude, it's not that simple. Ugh, the dude disease is spreading. Anyway, sorry for ranting.
Nah, man, it's no problem. What are friends for, you know? Like my grandma always says, a friend in need is a friend indeed.
You're the best, Wolf. We exchanged a high five.
Pretty dreamy, aren't I?
Not really. Oh, man. I shook my head and he slumped his shoulders in defeat. Oh, he's the Millhouse of this game. Don't worry, I'll be there for you whenever you need me to.
Ah, for reals? In that case, could I get your help with something?
Sure, what's up? I responded without missing a beat. Then he turned to me and said with a perfectly straight face,
Your brother has tarnished my honor, and I humbly ask that you restore it.
Oh, right, that. I glanced around and noticed a few students, probably the same ones from yesterday, pointing at Wolf and snickering. All thanks to that slanderous message Gretel had taped to his back. I fell to my knees, a hand clasped over my chest. I have failed you, my lord!
You didn't even try!
Once we arrived at college, I found my usual routine. Go to class. Oh, I followed, sorry. My usual routine. Go to class, eat lunch, and leave as soon as my last lecture was over. And we're going to school, so it can't be that old-timey. You know what I mean? It's true. It's a very weird time period. I don't know. Then I went to Gretel's community college and waited outside the front gates for him. But that day... Hey, lady! A group of male students approached me. How can I help you? I greeted them with a smile, but internally I was on guard. Why, you ask? Because everything about their appearance screamed delinquent, from their messy uniforms to their brightly dyed hair. Hey! I'm not a delinquent. Just because I... Say, are you Spacey Aris? They sneered at me as they looked me up and down. Yep, that's me. I had a feeling I knew what was coming.
Is it true you and Gretel aren't actually related?
Dude, stop! But I could hear the laughter in their voices. Did you ask him that too?
Huh?
You heard me. Answer the question. I continued to smile. Oh, I'm sorry. You heard me. Answer the question. Can't be aggressive and... Okay, it's not working. I continued to smile brightly, but my tone was firm, letting them know I meant business. I will kill you. Evidently, they'd expected me to get more flustered than this, because they seemed to panic. Maybe we did. So what? A third boy joined the conversation. I'll punch you in the face, that's what! I swung a punch into empty air as a warning. Younger than me or not, I wasn't going to offer them a shred of mercy. Not that violence was the answer, but surely I could get away with an empty threat. At this, the boys burst out laughing. For a moment, I considered actually punching them, but I held myself back. It didn't matter if they wanted to laugh and poke fun at me, but at this rate, Gretel would be impacted too. Hey, you! What? I addressed the boy who had originally called out to me. I figured he was probably the leader of the group. Come here a sec. I donned a smile and beckoned to him. He looked at me cautiously, so I grabbed him by the hand and pulled him close. Look deep into my eyes. As he squinted at me dubiously, I cupped his face in both hands, holding his head firmly in place. Gretel's gonna see it and get jealous. What? He struggled to pull himself away, but I stomped down on his foot to calm him down. Oh, that's gonna calm him down. Oh! The hell was that for? Oh, sorry. Violence really wasn't the answer, but there were times where it was necessary, and now was one of those times. You gotta love her. Like, she does the cutesy, like, oh my god, Gretel, I'm so adorable, but then she's like, I'll kick your fucking ass. And I like that balance, because She's got those super cutesy bubbly moments where that's why he calls her a ditzy dumbass, because she kind of, like, you're like, but she doesn't keep going. Like, everybody has their, like, giggly bubbly moments, right? But most of our Otome heroines are like that all the time. I don't understand. And you're like, wow. You are like, you got the ants and the blanket. That's all you got for the picnic. You are like 90% of a picnic short of a picnic. And like, but she's not like that. She's got her like, oh my god. I'll kill you if you fucking talk down to me. And she got her sass and her snark, and she's going to try to kick these guys' asses. And, you know, maybe she's overconfident and it's not going to work, but it's okay. It's the fact that she tries and has some sass and spunk and isn't a goddamn dumbass doormat. I like it and I approve. I leaned in close. His eyes widened until I could see my reflection in them. There we go. Now look closely and don't avert your eyes. He could probably feel my breath against his face with every word I spoke. Then I saw him start to blush and I gloated internally. No matter how tough and cool he thought he was still just a naive little boy on the inside. Now, picture Gretel's face. Okay. Don't you think we look alike? His hair, for example. He's got the same thick, wavy hair as me. See this? This is our natural hair. Wakarimashita ka? Wakarimashita ka? Yeah. He furrowed his brow. You know what, though? I'm sorry. You understand? You got me, fool! They always, every time there's any kind of Japanese, they always put it in parentheses to at least tell you. I guess they just assume everybody knows what wakarimasu is. He furrowed his brow, almost like he didn't understand Japanese or something. That's even funnier, though. Like, because you know damn well they probably had it in English. I'm just gonna guess. And it's like, he furrowed his brow like he didn't understand English or something. Because all the rest of the game's in Japanese, so... It would make sense in this if you were threatening someone and you said something in a foreign language and they looked at you weird and you'd be like, cut, it's like he doesn't understand French. Well, because like unless you're in France, I mean, you never know. I mean, but like, the chances of you trying to threaten someone in America speaking English and they're going to understand a foreign language that you're speaking is slim, right? You never know. You might luck out depending on where you are. But, like, so it's just so funny. It's like he doesn't understand Japanese. And it's funnier because you most likely would find more people that understood French or Spanish than Japanese, but... Do you see what I'm getting at? So I repeated myself in English. I'm gonna need an answer out of you or you're not going anywhere. He smacked my hands away. Good! Glad we have an understanding. I grinned. Behind him, one of his friends shouted at us to get a room, and he whirled around to yell at them. I felt bad for humiliating him, but at least now they would hopefully leave Gretel the hell alone. Just then, Sister, what are you doing? A bone-chilling, icy voice called up from behind me. And it's this, too. It's not the fact that we are threatening someone. It's, you were close to another man. There's so much creep in him, and I don't know why I like it. Because, again, it's been a long time since I've played Amnesia Memories, and I feel like I should go back and play Toma's Route just to be like... But, like, there is so much wrong with everything Gretel is doing, and I don't mind it. Oh, except for when you insult me, or you won't let me have a piece of candy because I'm gonna get fat, and you say I'm not sexy and all that shit. Because, you know what? God damn you! Oh, you're just trying to goad me and make me angry because you just want to deny that you're in love with me. Yeah, I get it. I see what you're doing. It still makes me mad, though. But, like... What are you doing, sister? You're looking at other men and I'm all creepy and annoyed. I'm gonna keep you to myself. I mean, there's a lot of wrong things, but I dig it. These games have broken my brain. I don't know. Anyway. Oh, hi, Gretel. I turned to find him standing there, smiling brightly. Then his gaze drifted from me to the group of guys. And what are you people doing, hassling my sister? His tone was carefully restrained. Yet the utter lack of intonation only made him sound more unhinged. Nothing. We didn't do nothing, right? Right. With that, the delinquents backed away from me and hurried off. They were afraid of Gretel. Because he's fucking creepy. Something about their sudden departure felt strange. I snuck a glance at Gretel beside me. His sigh made me flinch. Are you mad? Why, yes, I suppose I am. I could hear it in his voice. And yet at the same time, I was just glad to hear him expressing his emotions at all. Good grief. You ought to just ignore those creeps. Don't egg them on. Ignoring them won't work, Gretel. They're your classmates, right? Or are they friends of yours? Friends? As if. They're just big fish in a small pond. I don't pay them any mind. Well, alright then. So were they harassing you? Not really. I think maybe they were trying to hit on me. This was obviously a lie, tossed out and on the spur of the moment. Oh, yeah? And this right there, you're lying? Like, because otherwise you're going to be like, well, they were just saying mean things about you. What were they saying? Nothing that I can tell you because it's the truth. I mean, how do you cover that? You know what I mean? But they were hitting on me, and this is why Gretel locked you up, because now he's super jealous. Oh my god. We literally, everything we have said and done has kind of caused his craziness to lock us up. Okay. Alright, I know we shouldn't blame ourselves, but we didn't help the situation. Alright, I know, it wasn't really our fault, but we really aren't helping with the being in love with him and acting and fawning over him and then telling him that boys are hitting on us and making him I mean, he was crazy. If he were a normal person, that wouldn't happen, but we are not. We are like fanning the crazy flames. Like, come on, burn, baby, burn! It's bringing this shit down. Oi. His response was so flat, I got the feeling he'd seen right through it. Should I stop waiting for you out here? My heart ached as I thought back to what Wolf had said. Helicopter mom. He was completely right, of course. And if I kept up my helicoptering, Gretel might start to think I didn't trust him. I've been dealing with this crap for a long time now, sister. It doesn't get to me. Don't worry about it. Okay? And now let's go home where we belong. He took my hand and started walking. As I gazed at him, I contemplated my next move. I'm going to... He pushed me down on the bed and grabbed my ankle. What's going on? How many times are you going to climb on top of me? I mean, I swear I'm not enjoying this. No, really. I struggled to escape, but he had a firm grip on my leg. Will you fight back? Oh, God. Let's see. Okay, here's the hard thing. Should we fight back? Yes. But do we want to? Yes and no? Like, I swear I'm not enjoying this. I think you are enjoying it. So if you fight back, so saying no, I wouldn't fight back because I'm kind of enjoying this. But then he might actually, but if you're enjoying the forcefulness and you say and you don't fight back, is that just going to ruin it? Because maybe that's your kink. I don't know. But also, if we don't fight back, I feel like fighting back would spur him on because he'd be like, oh, it's humiliating for you and you hate it, so I'm just going to keep doing it to mess with you more, right? And if we don't fight back, then he'd be like, oh, God, it's boring, and stop. But also, if we fight back, he might get mad at us and do worse things to us, like put us in the cage. Either way, it's going to happen. I don't know which one's we're going to end up with a bad ending. Do we fight back? Sure? I don't know. It's so hard to know what's right with Gretel. It's not even like, sometimes the choices are obvious. And then this is like, I mean, he might want us to, and then if we don't, maybe, but then if we do, maybe, this is probably bad, but it's where we are. Settle down, please. I can see your panties. You monster! Yes, whatever you say. I'm a monster, I know. Relax. I'm not going to have my way with you. Stupid jerk! I hate you! He lifted my legs into the air, took out a green ribbon and tied it around my ankle. What's that? Can't you tell? It's a ribbon. Cute, isn't it? It's not cute, it's demonic! It's a green ribbon. Granted, appearance-wise, it looked like any ordinary ribbon, and in that sense, it was very pretty indeed. But he was using it for some less than pretty purposes. He held the ends of the ribbon in his hands, almost like a bridge between himself and me. Based on the number of times he was wrapping it around my leg, however, this was one really long ribbon. I bought it just for you, sister. I gave it a lot of thought, too. I wanted to choose a color that would suit you. Gretel green? At first I was leaning white, but I honestly can't stand the color white, you know? So in the end, I chose a color I liked. You don't mind, do you? I really love green. It's a very soothing color. He spoke so quickly I couldn't get a single word in edgewise. I was very particular about the material as well. This is silk, you know. Doesn't it feel nice? It was quite expensive. As you can see, it matches the one on your wrists. Oh, right. You can't see that. What a shame. What are you going to do with the other half? What do you think? Truth be told, I knew the answer. I just really wanted to be wrong. All I need to do is tie you to this bird cage and we'll be set. So you're using it as a shackle? Ding, ding, ding. Correct. His sunny smile was really starting to piss me off. Well, that's what I said. You tie it, and then I can at least walk around, but I can't run because I'm tied up. But I can untie the ribbon with my hands. But if you actually had, and I locked you in with the key, like a metal, like an actual shackle, I wouldn't be able to get out. I'm just saying, I would be able to use my hands, but I still wouldn't be able to escape. It's a little less humiliating than, not being able to use my hands. I'm just saying. I bet you're thinking you'll be able to escape, aren't you? Well, think again. Because it won't be easy, let me assure you. He smirked sadistically at me. In response, I hit him with my best comeback. Funny, I don't remember any BDSM in that Harlequin novel. And this is a faithful adaptation, if you ask me. The only difference is we won't be having sex. That's a huge difference, and one that apparently we don't like. Stop this! I mean it! My tone grew uncharacteristically sharp. And the only difference is we won't be having sex. And why not? Because actually, the right thing to say to him would be like, well, thank God for that. Damn it. And then we find out we were the one manipulating you all along. I let you tie me up, and I got you to have your way with me, and that's what I wanted. Ooh. That would be a fucking flip in this route that I wouldn't see coming. Well, now we've seen it coming if it happens, but I don't expect that to be the case, but it'd be fucking hilarious. Relax. I'll make it a shoelace knot so it'll be easy to untie later. That's not what I'm worried about. Now I was shouting. The smile vanished from his face. And what exactly is the issue? Do you have a problem with the two of us living here? Do you have a problem with it? Yes. No, I have a problem with us not having sex. I think we should just say yes. Fuck it, I'm going to say yes. We're angry now, so let's just go with it. My rage started to boil over. Evidently, his ongoing mistreatment of me had caused some resentment to build up. Yes, I do! I can't live with someone who would do this to me. Gretel's expression was unreadable. It wasn't clear to me how my statement made him feel. He averted his gaze for a moment, then muttered to himself, this could be bad. I see. He rose to his feet. Gretel? Then he dropped the other end of the ribbon. Gretel, thank you. I was so relieved to see it. In that case, I'm leaving. Farewell, sister. Did we just get a bad ending? We might have. What? A split second later, he turned on his heel and walked straight out of the cabin. Gretel! I leapt up from the bed, but it was too late. Gretel! Gretel! I shouted through the door after him, but the only response was the click of the lock sliding into place. Oh, well, great. Now we're stuck. Gretel! Hastily, I ran to the window, only to catch sight of Gretel disappearing into the forest. Did he leave me here to die? My mind started to whir. Did he really just leave? Or is he messing with me again? Or did we get a bad ending? We knew it was going to happen eventually. Either way, I can't just sit here. If I'm going after him, then I need to get out of these constraints. I wiggled around until my fingers managed to grab hold of one end of the ribbon. Then I pressed it against the wall, using the surface as friction to pull it loose. Sure enough, the shoelace knot swiftly came undone, but my hands were still tied. The knot at the center hadn't budged. Another knot. I knew it. I had paid careful attention to Gretel's hand movements when he tied it, so I had seen this coming. Next, I walked to the wood-burning stove and twisted my body until I opened the glass window. Gazing at the scarlet flames, I turned around. Then I twisted my body once more, bringing my wrists close to the flame. Just then, click. I heard the sound of something unlocking and fell still. Gretel? What are you doing? Gretel stormed over to me and yanked me away from the fire. I knew my intuition was warning me for a reason. Seizing both my shoulders, he turned me to face him. That hurts! Now you're worried about pain? You nearly burned yourself! As he shouted, he ran a hand through his hair in frustration. Furrowing his brow, he glared at me. I've never wanted to punch something more than I do right now. Because of me? I would be more worried about punching me, not because of me. Want to punch me? That's my fear. No, because I was an idiot and left you here alone. For 5 minutes, you literally walked out the door and it's been, like, even if it took us, like, 10... It's been, like, I highly doubt it took us more than, like, it couldn't have even been 30 minutes to get the knot undone. So you left us here, what'd you do, walk out into the woods, make a loop? You weren't even gone for, like, 10 fucking minutes, bro. Not that I wanted him to punch anything, but I was relieved to know he didn't blame me for this. It felt like proof that he genuinely had my best interest at heart. Now, I thought for sure he was gone and we were gonna die in here. Like, wow, it's really easy to make him mad to leave us. Then he pulled some star candies out of his pocket and popped them into his mouth. Are you hurt? He seemed calmer now. I can no longer sense anger in his voice. No, I'm okay. Show me. Okay?
What you doing? Or you playing with your toys and shrieking at him?
I turned around so he could see. You do appear to be unharmed. He touched my wrists. Like I said, I wouldn't lie to you. I smirked at him. You lie to me all the time. Oh, is it that obvious? Extremely. Truth be told, I know you could probably escape if you really wanted to. And you do whatever it takes to achieve your goals, even if it means you get hurt.
You know, that's just not a toy for you to flip around. It's a foraging toy. You're supposed to chew on the cardboard and get all the treats that are inside. But you're kind of a fucking lazy bird.
Like,
you're supposed to forage. It's supposed to be for your intelligence. Oh, it's supposed to be fun, but...
You'd rather forage all the food that you throw on the floor, huh? I bet normal people wouldn't think to burn off their restraints with fire. Well, I was in a hurry. I wanted to go after you. Did it never occur to you that perhaps I was just messing with you? I couldn't take that risk. Without me, there'd be no one around to take care of you, I suppose. Pretty much. I laughed. It was a little weird. I want to be weirded out. On one hand, like, wow, he was gone, and you were like, let me go run after him, don't leave me. Instead of being like, well, thank fucking God. But on the other hand, she's in love with him, so... Like, my enjoyment of the train wreck is like, yeah, no, of course we wanted him to come back. But my logic, and my actual sense as a human being is like, no, we're sad he came back. Like, thank God he fucking left, right? Sometimes my good sense and my logic is I have to fight against it because, like, There are certain things that are just like, those are lines that we can't cross, that are just no. This isn't one of those weird situations where you were like, everything in your brain is like, danger, no, Spacey, let him go. No, he's crazy. And you don't, but in the Otome sense, you just take that logic, throw it out the fucking window and be like, yes, come back and tie me up, beat me a little bit maybe. I've been bad, I think you should spank me. Like, no way in hell, in any way, shape, or form in the real world would this ever be acceptable. So I have to fight against that part of my brain. Like, it doesn't work in some cases. Some of those love interests just irk me so much. I'm like, no, I can't do it. I just hate you. But I don't hate Gretel. I'm not in love with this situation. But just for the story itself, I am. Like, this is a train wreck. This is amazing. But my danger senses are tingling and like, no, run away. Shh, Spacey. Shh. We're having fun. No, we're not. I'm fighting with myself a little here. Like, there are moments like this. She's just laughing. I'm so glad you came back. And I'm like, girl, are you fucking no, right. We're enjoying the train wreck. We are enjoying this. We're here for this. Like, overall, I do enjoy this. I get very confused on moments like this, though, where I'm like, wait, yeah, okay. She's a little too easygoing, but although, in the same respect, some of them, I'm so glad you came back, Gretel. I'm so glad you're not mad at me. And then, the fuck are you doing? She's got these swings, which I feel I can identify with, because that's how certain times in this, I'm like, no, go fuck yourself. What are you saying? You know what? Maybe you should tie me up a little bit harder. How dare you call me fat? Tell me I'm not sexy, you asshole. I'm doing the same fucking swings with him. Oh, I do love it, though. It's so wrong, but I love it. Not that the situation was really that funny. More of a dry, sarcastic laugh, if you catch my drift. Sure. Gretel fell silent. He stared at the floor for a while before speaking again. Given how clever you are, I imagine you've already started to piece together exactly where we are, in the cabin out back of the house. His voice was quiet. A summer home somewhere? He didn't answer, so I kept talking. We can't keep doing this forever, Gretel. You know that, right? If the rest of the family finds out we ran away from home and stopped going to school, they're going to come looking for us. No, they won't. He shot back coldly. Did you kill them, Gretel? And those people have abandoned us. Abandoned us? Yeah, I said it. I paused to think. I mean, our parents could give a fuck less. But, like, Ryoshi always checks in on us, so... Was it possible? Could they have actually abandoned us? Do you believe Gretel? I don't believe Gretel. But I feel like... These are so hard. We're gonna get a bad ending, okay? I know this 100%. But I feel like if we say yes, if we believe him... I personally, do I believe him? Fuck, no, I don't. He could be telling the truth, but my instinct is to be like, I don't necessarily believe that. In his twisted, weird, fucked up mind, does he think that? Possibly. Is it 100% the truth? I lean toward no. Because I don't think Ryoshi would just abandon us like that, you know what I mean? Our parents, maybe. Ryoshi doesn't seem like it. Possibly. Could be true. But I also feel like if we say, what? That's bullshit. You don't say that to a crazy person. You know what? I absolutely... Do I believe him? Yes, because he's crazy and he might stab me. He's never going to stab me, but he's crazy, so we should probably go with his delusions. But I'm going to say no, just to fucking stir the pot a little. Look, we get in a bad ending at some point. I'm stirring the pot. There was just no way it could be true. Not that my family would never abandon us, but rather, I got the sense that Gretel was keeping me in the dark about a lot of things. See, I don't really care if you believe me or not. I'm not taking orders from anyone. I'm going to do exactly what I want, which is keep me in a prison cell. Uh-oh. I was now alone in the main room. After that argument, Gretel claimed he was tired and locked himself up in the bathroom. The sound of running water echoed through the silent cabin. Is he drowning himself? So much for that, I guess. I let out a sigh. Gretel had extinguished the fire himself. For the time being, there was still enough residual heat to keep me warm, but eventually it would fade. As I approached the stove, I could smell the burnt ash. Oh, I crawled into bed and curled up in a ball under the blankets. I kept clicking it. It was just dots, and I was like, am I going crazy? I didn't feel like doing anything anymore. Perhaps I was more exhausted than I realized. As the seconds ticked by, my eyelids grew heavier and heavier. Unable to resist, my mind slowly drifted into the darkness. When we arrived home, I caught a whiff of something unpleasant. It reeks of cigarette smoke. I glanced over to find Gretel with a visible grimace on his face. I'll be going to my room now, sister. Oh, okay. I watched him go, then turned and headed for the kitchen. Ryoshi? Ryoshi! I flung open the door, and sure enough, there sat my older brother, Ryoshi. I think it's so funny that, he's always the huntsman. But that's also, his last name, Mr. Huntsman, but that's not our last name. It's really weird. And Gretel doesn't have a last name. Anyway. What do you want? We're home. Welcome back. He shifted his disinterested gaze away from me and exhaled a cloud of smoke. No smoking in the house. I'm confiscating that. I snatched the cigarette away and put it out in the sink. Just have candy or something instead. You mean this candy? With his chin resting on his hand, he grabbed a nearby jar of star candies and held it out to me. Aren't those Gretel's? They are indeed. Pink, green, a rainbow of colors sparkled up at me through the glass. I'm putting you in charge of these. Otherwise, he'll eat too many while your back's turned. Before I could accept, you don't need to manage me. Gretel walked in as if on cue. I was wondering where they went. Did you go into my room, Mr. Hunter? I did. Well, that's true. He was calling him Mr. Hunter, but it's so weird. That's an invasion of my privacy. You don't even feel bad about it, do you? As far as I'm concerned, you don't get any privacy from me. An attitude you have. That's the reason why I hate your guts. Gretel snatched the jar away and bolted from the room. Wait, Gretel! Ryoshi! I snapped at him. I don't know what you expect from me. The kid needs to be supervised. Supervised? The word felt a little too harsh to use against a family member. You could stand to treat him with a little more kindness. What he needs is tough love. I think what he's trying to give us is tough love. I'll see myself out. But we're family! That line after the sexy tough love. Okay, wow. I am not his family. And neither are you. I know damn well you don't see him like a brother. Ryoshi has seen through it. Is it because we were having sex the other day when you walked in? Because that's just kidding. Gross. Ryoshi had seen through my act a long, long time ago. There's nothing wrong with that, obviously. Feel however you want to feel. But know this, Spacey. He's not the precious angel you, Mom, and Dad all think he is. Granted, I do feel sorry for him and everything he's been through, and I can understand why you'd want to coddle him. But your love for him is unhealthy. And if you raise him in an unhealthy environment, he'll turn out unhealthy too. I mean, Ryoshi is not fucking wrong based on where we are now. Just like, he's already showing signs of it. You can't get too close to him. He'll just pull you down with him and you'll regret it. I don't know. I think we're secretly enjoying everything that's happening to us. This is a warning, you understand me? Don't enable his dependency. Otherwise, sooner or later, the next target of his aggression will be you. When you say, aggression, you mean the sexy kind, right? Because, I mean, that, we're getting tied up, a little BDSM and the Harlequin, and he's, the only thing we're not going to do is have sex. Yeah, but that's what I thought we were doing here! Disappointed! It's a romance game. There's not going to be any sexy time, but I mean, you can imagine if this game had any kind of 18 plus, there would be some forceful situations that would have been happening. Not maybe at this point, because he wants to make us go, oh God, is he gonna hurt me? No, okay, we're fine. Oh my God, is he gonna? No, we're fine. Oh my God, is he gonna? Until, we're so like stressed out every time he like blinks at us, we're afraid we're gonna get attacked, and then he's gonna do it. It's gotta drive us fucking mentally insane, right? I'm just saying. Psychological warfare is what this boy's doing, but I had a feeling you'd be here. I found Gretel sitting on a bench by the lake shore. Sister, can I sit with you? Sure. He moved the jar of candy beside him to make room for me to sit. No, me and my candy are having a romantic conversation. I need you to leave. Thanks. I plopped down next to him and turned in his direction. You ate all that? I pointed at the jar in his hands. Eating them helps me calm down. And that way, whenever I'm scared or frustrated, I can just stop caring instead. His voice was lethargic. You heard Ryoshi, didn't you? It's not healthy to eat too many. Right. Plus, if you fill up on sweets, you won't want to eat dinner. I have a separate stomach for dessert. Right. But before I could continue, Gretel cut in. Enough about that. How did you know I was here? I know everything about you, Gretel. I watch you all the time. When you're awake, when you're sleeping, when you're in the shower. What? Nothing? Sorry. I just feel like we're a little creepy, too, with how much we are in love with him, and he's supposed to be our brother. Like, I mean, we're a little creepy. He's way creepier, but we have that, and that must be the familial bond that we have, is the slightly creepy. This is an invasion of my privacy. But we're family. And that changes nothing. We're also not really family, but... I fell silent. Then Gretel let out a long sigh and shook his head. On second thought, I suppose you're a special exception. I'm special? Yay! Thank you! Oh, great and merciful Gretel! I pressed my hands together in reverence. You're always so... Gretel let out another exasperated sigh. I think he's exasperated, again, because he's in love with us. It's not like, oh my God, you're so annoying. It's, God, you're annoying. It's because I want to have sex with you. It's exactly what his attitude problem is. So, what? I waited for him to continue. He looked at me for a moment and then... Gah! He pinched my nose. So very annoying. What did I do wrong? With my nose pinched between his fingers, my voice came out all nasally. Just then, Gretel raised his eyebrows and smiled. I've got an idea. How about you lie down? Here? On the bench? You can use my lap as a pillow. See, he's totally into us. What? I wasn't expecting this proposal, and I froze. What you doing? You clucking at me. Come here. Then, after a long silence, what's gotten into you, dude? For some reason, I tacked on dude like I was Wolf. Nothing's gotten into me, dude. It just seemed like something you'd like, so I offered, dude. Oh, I felt like such an idiot. I should have made some kind of joke about both of us sounding like Wolf, but it didn't even occur to me. Are you opposed to the idea? If it doesn't interest you, then don't worry about it. No! I'm definitely interested. Please! So fucking awkward and definitely not a conversation siblings would have. I begged him desperately. All right then, go for it. Gretel handed me his jar, then indicated his lap in a have-had-it gesture. Out of context? So much wrong with this sentence! Like, wait, what? Have-at-it gestures to his lap with a have-at-it gesture. What? Phrasing. I stared down at his thighs. Oh dear God, this is getting, again, out of context. If anyone just listened to these sentences, they'd be like, what the fuck are you reading? I'm so sorry if your parents just walked into the room or anything. Or anybody walked into the room while I'm reading. Oh, God. My neighbors are like, the fuck? Hurry up already. Okay. Again, oh my God, out of context. So wrong. Hesitantly, I let him guide my head down onto his lap. It just keeps getting worse. How is it? Comfortable? Well, it's not very soft. Oh, God. Good. I don't want flabby thighs. Maybe if I was a girl, but I'm not. Right. Honestly, this was my first time putting my head in anyone's lap, so I wasn't sure how it was supposed to feel. Plus, I couldn't really relax with him staring down at me like that. To be honest, I don't know if this is comfortable or not. I can't really, focus. My heart was thumping uncontrollably in my chest. Interesting. Is this your first time? Maybe. I answered evasively. I see. Why was his tone so flat? Is this your first time? No. Whore. I didn't know. You can relax a little more than that, you know. And the whole point is to rest your full weight on me. He pressed my head firmly against his thigh. Just like, ow! I think my neck just cracked. Oh, sorry. I don't know if he really is. It's okay. Truth be told, it kind of hurt, but not that badly. Am I heavy? Not at all. What if your leg starts to go numb? If it does, I'll just shove you onto the ground. He smirked at me. I buried my face in my hands and pretended to sob. You monster! I'm just messing with you. Laughing, he grabbed my hand. Your hand's cold. I'll warm it up for you. Are you going to put it in your pocket? Without hesitation, he entwined his fingers with mine. This is a very romantic moment between siblings, is all I'm saying. This was no ordinary platonic hand-holding. Okay. Good, at least she gets it. A doofy smile spread on my face. I caught myself a moment later, of course, but by then Gretel was already snickering at me. If someone saw us right now, I bet they wouldn't guess we were brother and sister. Yeah, I know we know, and I know she thinks that he knows, but I question if he knows. Yeah, I guess siblings don't really do this stuff, huh? Again, out of context with the whole, like, he shoves his cat at my lap and, like, shoving his head, this is your first time, and siblings don't do this stuff. Some of these lines out of context are just like, wait, what? Huh? Oh my. We wouldn't be able to have a clear conversation, but it still seems just so wrong. Not normally, no. Yeah, not normally. Both of us were fixated on the concept of normal, probably because we knew full well we were anything but. It would appear night has fallen. Yeah, the days are short in the wintertime. I'd almost forgotten what season it was. The winters were always harsh here. Thankfully, it was still early into the season, but it was already fairly nippy outside, yet I scarcely felt it. Was it the warmth from Gretel's hand? What if we didn't go back? Go back where? Home? Yeah. You don't want to? Just answer the question. Oh, right. I guess it depends on you. Huh? If you wanted to go home, then I'd go with you. And if not, then I wouldn't. See, right here. Ride or die, is that it? Till death do us part. Want to just run away from home together? Say, oh my god. Okay, look. I know it's not our fault, he's the crazy one, but we keep saying shit that spurs on his crazy. Oof. It's tempting, but I know it's a bad idea. This is a trap, isn't it? What are you hoping to get out of it? Who knows? Maybe I'll lure you in and gobble you up. What a wicked little witch. Yeah, I know. I giggled. After a while, I noticed Gretel blinking his eyes sleepily. Are you tired, Gretel? Yeah, perhaps a bit. Want to trade off? No, I'm fine right here. He squeezed my hand and closed his eyes. You can take a little nap if you want. I'll wake you in a bit. You won't leave me here asleep, will you? Don't worry. No matter what happens, I won't let go. Reassuringly, I squeezed his hand back. No matter what, you promise? Yeah. No matter what I do? No matter what. And now we know why he's being a psycho. Even if it costs you your life? Sure, I'll die for you. I nodded without missing a beat. Gretel stared at me, eyes wide. I have a feeling we're going to end up dead in one of these bad endings. Then he furrowed his brow. I think he's got 2 that I'm aware of. What? That's extremely creepy, actually. You frighten me. Wow, rude. The rejection stung. Keep your melodramatic comments to yourself next time. You're the one who asked. I pouted and Gretel averted his gaze. Yeah, he's calling us creepy. I'm just saying, I'm a little creepy, you are like mega fucking creepy. Hey! No. Why are you willing to go that far for me? Because I love you. And I'd do anything for someone I love. Would you say the same thing to anyone else in the family? Probably not. Just you, Gretel. So I'm special. Is that it? Yep. You're the special exception. I see. He closed his eyes. Mr. Hunter still doesn't trust me, does he? Let me guess. He thinks I'm going to hurt someone. My heart skipped a beat. And not in a fun, romantic way. Instead, what I felt was... Are you afraid of me, sister? Do you not trust me? Is that why you spend every single day with me? Are you supervising me on his orders? No, I'm not. Just worried about you, Gretel. Same difference. If you actually trusted me, then you wouldn't worry. My chest ached. You claim that I'm special to you. I have to wonder what kind of special you mean. Gretel, With his eyes closed and his voice perfectly level, I couldn't read his emotions whatsoever. What honeyed words could I whisper to say to him? I fell into thought. I love you. You're special to me. In the end, I settled on words of affirmation. Truth be told, I think I enjoy your special treatment, sister. He bent down and planted a kiss on my forehead. Real quick, let's back up about 6 months ago. Real quick, let's not. We're going to do that in the next part. Like, that's such a touching little end to a slightly weird situation that happened. I mean, okay, in a normal romantic, like, scenario, you're like, oh, that's a cute little thing. But also, it's weird because she's basically, it's straight up admitting, I love you, Gretel. Like, I'm in love with you. Not like there's I love you and I love you, you know? And she's basically admitting that she loves him, and I wonder if it's different. Hey, no, you stop that. We don't make that noise and you know better.
That's fine. You chirp nice. Yes, like that. That's nice. That's nice. To be nice. Trying to have a conversation here and you're being rude.
Anyway, and I just like wonder how it was in Japanese to be translated. Because you know what I mean? Like, in English, you're like, I love you. That could be like, you could say it to your family, oh, I love you. Okay, love you. See you later. Or like, I love you. Like, you know what I mean? You don't always say, I'm in love with you to the person that you're in love with. But, like, I feel like she's like basically like saying, I love you. Because it's, well, he'll take that as I love you because we're family, but I'm really telling you that I'm in love with you without saying in love with you. And then it's like, but does he realize that how she's meaning when she says it? Or is it it's confusing. But also, like, they both realize this is an awkward situation for siblings. Yeah, we're not normal siblings. We keep bringing it up, and it's like, does he know? I don't know. And again, I don't know my opinion if I think, like, him knowing that they're just adopted makes it better or worse. Like, obviously, logically, you're like, well, that would make it better if he knows that he was adopted and you know he's adopted. And so then, like, your feelings already are awkward and weird because you grew up as siblings, but you're not blood related. So you're both like, I mean, it's weird, but also it's okay. And, like, there's that, you know, whatever. But it makes it slightly creepy if she's like, oh, I know he's adopted and I'm totally in love with him. And he's like, you're my actual sister and I'm kind of in love with you. And it's kind of creepy on his part, but there's a part of me that wants that just for how fucked up that makes this route. Because look, if we're going down the fucked up route, look, if we're going down the train wreck route, you better make it worth my while and just make it all sorts of fucked up. Like, because I'm kind of enjoying his route, even though it's fucked up. I'm enjoying the train wreck. And that's not something they can usually be said for train wreck routes, you know? All right. For the most part, I'm like, yeah, no. I've only had 3 exceptions where I just get so violently angry I want to choke a fucking love interest in a game. So, I mean, you know. But anyway. We'll find out about 6 months ago in the next part. So that'll be next week, if my math is correct. I think we're on part 4. I'm not even sure anymore. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.